What's up YouTube? SwiftRick back with another Destiny video, and this time I got a really cool video that hopefully is very helpful for you guys, because recently I just got my Not Forgotten and holy crap was that thing hard to get. It is definitely a time-consuming thing, but it's possible if you have a good team. I do not recommend duo or solo queuing, duo queuing, even triple queuing. It's too risky. You need a full team that works together very well if you want to get this in a very timely manner. Well, it still takes a long time, but it's a lot faster than doing it without a full team. So I definitely recommend that. But today on this video, the main point of this is to give you guys some tips and tricks for individual performance and also tips and tricks for a whole team to work on together that will hopefully help you guys win more games so you can get the Not Forgotten easier. Or Lunas, if you're still working on Lunas, these tips will still help you. So listen up guys, just pay attention, all right? Because this is very useful stuff. Just listen. I know what I'm talking about. I got the Not Forgotten, so that means I'm better than most people. No, I'm just kidding. This is definitely a team-oriented weapon to get. Individual performance does matter, but I would say team performance matters even more. So enough about that. Let's get right to it. The first thing that we're gonna start talking about is pushing together as a team. Whichever team is pushing together better and communicating better is gonna win the game and the fight. Right away, you guys want to communicate a game plan and execute the game plan efficiently. If you notice during my gameplay, right when one of our teammates is initiating, we all try to initiate at the same time, because in that aspect, it does a lot of things. First thing it does is it makes the enemy team confused on who to look at. If you guys are all coming at the same time, it kind of overwhelms them and it confuses them. So that gives you guys an advantage when pushing together as a team. So for example, if someone in your team wants to flank, you got to make sure that the flanker gets there on time to push in with you guys. So you guys got to either wait for the flanker or the flanker has to be fast to push in with you guys right when you initiate. Because if you don't do that, what's going to end up happening is either your team pushes in before the flanker gets to his position, and that's basically creating a 3v4 against the enemy team. They'll pick off the 3 people, and then that one guy that's flanking is going to be on his own. They're going to rush him because he's outnumbered, and they kill him. So basically you guys are going to be outnumbered if you don't push in at the same time, because most teams in the high ranks are always pushing in together, sticking together, team shooting all together. So if anyone's late to the fight, it's basically the enemy team outnumbering you guys and outputting more damage than you guys and killing you guys. So you guys gotta make sure that you guys are all always pushing in at the same time the best you can. And if you push in and you feel bad that you were able to do damage but not kill off anyone, don't feel bad. That's actually good, because what usually ends up happening is when you push in and if you're able to do damage, not only did you do damage, you also got their attention, so they're distracted by focusing on you. So then when you die and your teammate's pushing with you, he can finish off the guy that's damaged, and he could probably kill the guy that's distracted by your push. And if your team was able to outplay them well enough, your team could possibly continue to be aggressive on the spawning enemies. What I mean by this is if you guys pushed in together and only one of you guys died while you guys killed the whole team, maybe like 2 enemies first and then 2 enemies like a couple seconds later, that means 2 enemies are going to be spawning first before the last 2 enemies spawn. And if you guys are very fast and aggressive on those 2 enemies that are spawning first, you're basically outnumbering them still, because you guys survived with 4 or 3 teammates. And if you guys pushed aggressively, kill those 2 spawning enemies, and then if you guys still survive that push, then you guys are going to be outnumbering the 2 other enemies that are going to be spawning, and you guys could pick them off again because they'll be outnumbered, and you guys should be able to win the fight, and just keep continuing this chain of just killing enemies because they're outnumbered. But if you notice that your teammates are starting to die and you're being outnumbered, then that's when you guys should stop doing that and just kind of retreat and regroup and then push in together again until you guys get that flow going again. But when heavy is almost out, you want to be careful with this. You don't want to be outnumbered when heavy's coming out, because heavy is a game changer. You want to have control of heavy as much as you can. So if you want to be safe, just regroup and wait it out at the heavy area with your team, which is the next topic we're going to talk about, is heavy control and how to protect heavy. Having heavy control will affect your chances of winning a lot. That's why it's very important to get heavy control and try to keep it as much as you can as well. I recommend if your team is able to get heavy, you should stay in that heavy area and try to protect heavy with heavy. So if you have heavy, protect it with heavy, because the enemies are either going to try to play very conservative and not push, so then you basically keep heavy control until the next heavy comes out and your next teammate can pick it up, or you can pick it up for double stack. I recommend 2 people picking it up, because then it's just 2 people with heavy to protect different zones of heavy area. Or the enemy is going to try to play aggressive and try to get back control of heavy, but that gives you the advantage because they have to push on you and you have heavy control, so you can usually get multi-kills with heavy, or even shut down supers, which is the next thing. I recommend, if you have a super when heavy's almost out, definitely use super to keep control of heavy if you don't have heavy. Or if the enemy team has control of heavy, you definitely want to push with the super, if possible, before heavy comes out, because it's going to be really hard to push with the super if they have heavy as well, because then they can shut you down with heavy. There are many times you can use a super, but one of the important times is definitely to get control of heavy. Really, there's many situations where you'd want to use a super. You can use a super, like I said, to get heavy control, or you could use a super to counter an enemy's super. For example, here there was a Stormcaller, so I used my Nova Warp to kill him and shut him down. And then also you could just use it to get more kills. If you guys are down on kills, use your super to catch up to the enemy team. But if you guys are ahead, then I would kind of suggest to hold the super for probably to get back control of heavy, or if someone uses a super, you can counter them. But at the same time, it would still be okay to use a super even if you're ahead, just to get more kills, to be even a bigger margin ahead of the enemy team. You can also use your super to clear the area if you need to res your teammates that are downed. That's also another good way to use your super. So there's many situations that it's okay to use a super, but I definitely would prioritize using super to get heavy if needed, to res teammates, or to counter an opponent's super. So now that I'm speaking of supers, I also want to give you guys some tips and tricks for Nova Warp and the abilities of Nova Warp. So the first trick I want to talk about is the Dash Blink Nova Warp trick. What this basically means is when you focus burst, every time before you blink, you actually blink even further than if you just normally blink without focus bursting or without bursting. I don't know if it works for any type of burst glide for Warlock, but I have focus burst on, and every time I use focus burst right before I blink even further. And the good thing about this is you cover more distance with using less super. So basically you can get to someone just as fast but use less super, and that means you can probably get more kills with Nova Warp using this trick. All right, so the next trick with Nova Warp I want to teach you guys is the bait and dodge of the 1,000 cuts with Nova Warp. Basically what this trick means is when you notice an enemy hunter has his 1,000 cuts, you use your super, and instead of going in for the kill, you go in and then you start dodging a lot, so you can try to bait his 1,000 cuts out. You dodge it so he wastes it, and then you go in for kills. Now for this trick, it's best to use regular iconic blink without focus burst, because then you can just continuously blink a lot faster. It does use up a little bit more super, but it's safer to dodge the 1,000 cuts. So when you do that, I would suggest you don't use the focus burst dash trick to dodge, but after you dodge and you're gonna go in for kills, then I would recommend you use the focus burst iconic blink trick I taught you guys beforehand to get up to enemies and kill them quick. I'd also like to mention that dodging 1,000 cuts is a lot easier out in the open, and if you can jump in the air, because then they don't have any walls or floors to hit with their 1,000 cuts, because when the 1,000 cuts hit a wall or floor and you're close to it, the blast radius will kill you. But if you're in the air, the only way they can kill you is if the 1,000 cut knives make contact with you. And if you dodge all the blades, they're all gonna just land somewhere far away and the blast radius won't reach you. So it's a lot easier out in the open, up in the air. Now for the exotic piece I actually recommend for Warlocks is the Sanguine Alchemy. I feel like this is an underrated exotic piece for the Warlock for competitive play. I mostly see people using like Ophidian Aspects, or maybe the those boots that let you run faster and slide faster. I forgot what they were called, but I don't ever see anyone using this chest piece. And I used to use the Ophidian Aspects at first, but then I just didn't really feel like it was changing my performance too much. It was just like a slight faster reload speed, slight faster ready and stow speed. Without the Ophidian Aspects, I felt just fine, so I didn't really feel any difference too much. But once I used this chest piece, I could tell I was doing a lot more clutch plays that I would usually not do, and a lot more crucial plays as well. This chest piece helps for the crucial moments that you need to win the team fights the most. Like I mentioned, heavy control, even like any sort of push, it's just super good, because I don't really see anyone ever using this. This is super good because, like the two things I mentioned before, heavy control is very important, and high rank teams usually push in at the same time to overwhelm you and confuse you, but with this chest piece, it counters that because you can see them through walls and it's pretty far distance too. So then you're well prepared for any type of push they do, a lot better than if you didn't have it. I feel like I've done a lot more clutch plays with this exotic piece than I've done with any other exotic piece for competitive PvP. So I definitely recommend this for you guys because, like, as you can tell through this gameplay, there's so many times where they try to push me from like jumping up in the air and shotgunning from up top or sliding in, but I can see them the whole time, so I'm well prepared ahead of time to aim on them and shoot them. For them, they can't see me, they just try to jump in and luckily be able to turn their aim on me. But since I already have my aim prepared on them, I get the first shot and I can kill them. So I definitely recommend for all you warlocks out there to be using the Sanguine Alchemy chest piece. I do have to warn you guys though, putting down a rift does take time, so you got to get used to knowing when to put down a rift to take advantage of this exotic chest piece, because if someone's rushing you down and you're trying to put it while he's rushing, he's gonna get to you before you can even put it down, and you won't be able to move or shoot or anything while you're trying to put a rift down, and he'll be able to shotgun you or punch you and shoot you. Whatever the case, he'll be able to kill you before you put it down. So you do have to practice on the best situations to set it up and what timing to do it. Now the last few things I want to talk about is make sure you have a good weapon loadout for certain situations. For big open maps, make sure you got a scout rifle or a bow, just a far range weapon. Really, whatever you prefer is viable. Bows are really good because they do a lot of damage in one shot to prime them, and then your teammates can finish them off, or you can use a scout rifle. I was using the Nameless Midnight with kill clip and it was really good. And also, don't be afraid to use really strong weapons, like meta weapons that you see in competitive a lot. There's a lot of people that use a bunch of what people would say cheesy weapons, just such as like Telesto or something. And to be honest, I would go ahead and use it as well, because you're gonna find people that will be using it, and if you get good practice in with Telesto, then you can counter them by using Telesto as well. You know, Wardcliff Coil's good heavy weapon that I prefer the most for exotic piece. If I'm using Telesto, I'll use a grenade launcher such as Play the Game. But yeah, so if it comes down to like an enemy team using all Telestos and kicking your butt, well then I would recommend you guys switch to Telesto and just outplaying them with the same weapon. And now that I'm talking about special weapons, that reminds me also to let you guys know, make sure you use Scavenger for the type of weapon that you're using. So if you're using a shotgun, make sure you have shotgun Scavenger. If you're using a fusion rifle, make sure you have fusion rifle Scavenger. If you're using a sniper, have sniper Scavenger, because having that extra ammo when you pick up special ammo blocks from the floor, the extra ammo is going to help a lot. So make sure you get Scavenger mods or perks on your armor pieces. So yeah guys, with all that said, I hope this information was helpful for you guys, and I wish you guys good luck in this last week to get the But Not Forgotten or Lunas Howl. I know you guys can get Lunas, I feel like it's possible for everyone. But Not Forgotten, it's definitely a lot tougher, but if you believe, if you try hard and practice, you can do it. The good thing is, as long as you unlock the But Not Forgotten, you can still get the Not Forgotten next competitive season, so that's good news. If you guys liked the video, please give it a like, and make sure to subscribe if you guys want to see future Destiny 2 videos, and I probably will be making some more Fortnite videos as well. And if you guys want to see me play live, follow my Twitch channel, the link is down in the description. I'll be playing Destiny 2 and some Fortnite and probably Super Smash Ultimate when that game comes out. I'm super hyped for that. Young Link is gonna be my boy. I'm gonna kick so much butt with him. He's so fast in that game. I'm just kidding. We'll see how it goes. He looks really good, so I'm really excited to play that game. It looks so much fun. If you guys want me to make more videos like these, let me know down in the comments. Let me know what ranks you guys are and down in the comments as well. I want to kind of see what everyone's at this last week, and what are you guys trying to get? Are you guys trying to get Luna still, or But Not Forgotten still? And are you guys solo queuing, duo queuing, or full squad queuing? Because I kind of want to see how many people do each one, because I feel like most people do squad queuing, but I don't know for sure. Also, if any of you guys are interested in joining my brother and I's clan, we got some open spots. People come and go, so currently I think we have some open spots still. It's open up to everyone, so feel free to join in if you want to. But yeah guys, other than that, thanks again for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys have a great day. Peace out.